Hi everyone, this is Noreen Chase, Community Manager of the Social Biz User Group. Today I'm interviewing Tim Clark, multiple IBM champion and organizer of the upcoming Icon UK User Group event being held in London at IBM Client Centre, IBM Southbank, September 21st through the 22nd. Tim, give us your professional background and how you became involved in the IBM Lotus Notes Domino space.
Okay, so I started straight out of high school in 1987 into IT, and I've been doing IT ever since, apart from a small, what should we say, a small segue into the world of motorcycle couriering for a while, and then back into IT. But I worked for IBM Lotus for 17 and a half years. And since leaving IBM in 2011, I've been an independent consultant. I've been professional services manager and a support manager for some business partners, and I'm currently working for Team Studio as the worldwide director of professional services. I'm an IBM champion, have been for, I think this is year 3 now, and I'm always humbled and that people vote for me to be a champion. I see it as a real honor to be a leader in this community. So I love it, and I've done a whole bunch of good stuff as a champion in the past, and I hope to do some more.
Tim, the Icon UK User Group has been around for a while, but you've only recently become involved in planning the event. Tell us how you became involved.
Right, so I took it over from the amazing and wonderful Warren and Kitty Elsmore, and I took that over last year, and they built that user group up into a vibrant community in the UK, and they announced that they were going to retire, and I sat on it for a long while and didn't do anything. And then eventually, I think it was in January or February, I called them up and said, hey, look, who's taking over Icon? And they said, well, no one. And I went, oh, okay. Do you mind if I have a go at it? And they went, no, that's great. We really want somebody to do it. And you are going to do a great job, don't worry. And I was like, oh, that rang alarm bells to start with. But it was fine. What we did is I ran my first one last year, and to keep it a little bit safer, I trimmed it down to a one-day event because A, we had no capital to run the event, and B, I didn't know how it was going to go, so I played a bit safe. We ran the event, it was a success, it was great, and everyone's comment pretty much was, we needed to be a 2-day event, we needed to go back to being 2 days. So that's what we've done this year, we've taken it back up to 2 days. We're back at the same place, which is IBM Southbank, and we're very grateful for IBM's support. They provide us with a venue and catering, which is a massive cost if you're running an event, and that's your biggest headache. So it's really good that IBM supports us in that way, and they provide us with speakers and content and all good stuff like that. So I'm really grateful to IBM to provide us with that stuff. And then we have all the volunteer speakers that we get abstract sessions from, and we go through the heartache of trying to pick who's going to speak. And it's not about who we want to speak, it's about which sessions are the best for the current climate and the current event, and what people are looking for. So we do a bunch of kind of blind polls with people behind the scenes saying, do you think this is a good session? Do you think that's a good session? Who would you like to see present a keynote, for instance, and all that stuff. So we've come up with a good set of sessions. The agenda's published, the sessions are all published, and we've done that to try and help get people to come along and register. In terms of registration this year, we're doing something very different. In the past, Icon UK and the UK Lug have all been free to attend and paid for by the sponsors. And this year actually is no different. It's free to attend because it's paid for by the sponsors. But this year I wanted to do something. I looked at what MW Lug did last year and what Richard Moyenko did last year, and they did a great job of raising some money for a local charity. But it seemed to me that it was announced at the event or after the event what the money was for. So this year I've taken the bold step of announcing the charity way ahead of time. So we're supporting a charity, and that's through registration fees. So we're charging everyone £50 to register for the whole 2-day event. It's going to cost them nothing else for the whole event. But all of that registration money, we're looking to donate to the charity, our chosen charity for this year. And if this model works, then we'll run it again the same next year. But it's very different. I don't see anybody else doing this. And I love supporting charities, and this is a really great way for the community to get involved. Now, what's different about this is they're not going to be a faceless charity to this community. They're going to be at the event. They get a booth, and they're going to do speed sponsoring. So everyone's going to get a chance to listen to them and see what they do, and find out the great work that this charity does. And they're also going to help us with our dinner on the Monday night. So they're going to be around. They're going to be room monitors. They're going to earn their donation pretty much. But it's great that they're not going to be a faceless charity where nobody gets to see what they do, and there's just like a bucket or a leaflet somewhere around that people can look at. The charity themselves are going to be at the event and be there to talk to and ask questions of. Good question. So the charity is called the Rainbow Trust Children's Charity, and what they do is they provide support for families who have got children with long-term or terminal illnesses. So they'll do things like they'll send in a support worker to do simple things like the washing up, or make sure the kids' clothes are clean so they can go to school for the rest of the family, or just help with a day out, or they'll do counselling with that family. They do an awful lot of good stuff for a lot of families around the UK. So it's not just centred in one area. They're all over the country, and they work really hard to make sure that families that are having the turmoil of having a really sick child just make their lives a little bit easier.
So, Tim, you've told us a little bit about yourself and the event, Icon UK, but now you're going to be speaking at the event. So your session is called Zen in the Art of Requirement Gathering, Why Getting to In Time, On Budget, and In Scope is Easier if You Start Out Right. Long title for that. Tell us, what's it about?
So it's a really fun session, actually. The title may be long, and you might think that requirements gathering for software is boring. However, Femke and I make it quite lighthearted. We start out by showing you that we've made a bunch of mistakes, and we want you to learn from those mistakes so that you don't make them yourselves. We have 3 small little role plays to help visualize what we're talking about. And then one of those is me ending up wearing a Farrell Fawcett wig. So if you want to see me with hair, or if you don't want to see me with hair, come along, because it's good fun. But it's really good. It's based on a book out of Microsoft Press. It's the 10 Fundamentals of Requirements Gathering. And I can't think of the guy's name now. I think it's Carl Weigers. But it's from the More Requirements Gathering book for software. And it's a really good resource for anyone who has to go and talk to customers about what it is that they really, really want out of an application, because it helps you focus on what's really needed. And it's not, oh, what color should this field be? It's about, what does the user need to do? So it's really best if you go and interview the right people and get the right answers, instead of just diving in as a developer and going like, oh, I know what you need, and off you go. This session's all about that. It's about working out, spending the right amount of time at the beginning of the project, working out what it is the project should be, rather than hashing together something that you think it should be and it's not the right thing.
Okay, Tim, as you know, in these interviews, I have to ask the geek question of everyone. So can you tell us, which do you prefer, Windows or Mac?
Well, yeah, ever since 2003, I think it was, when I passed my Red Hat Certified Technician exam, I've not used a Windows desktop in anger since then. So even when I was inside IBM, I was using a Red Hat or Ubuntu or Linux desktop. a bit like Matt Newman, but I've also used Mac, and I'm running a Mac now and have done for many years. The reason being is that Mac is really just Linux underneath, and if you know what you're doing in Linux, you can do what you need to in Mac. So Windows, Mac or Linux, absolutely. Yes, please.
So there you have it, everyone. We have Tim Clark, organizer of ICON UK, who's also speaking at ICON UK, and with his marvelous idea for his charity. I will include a link to the charity in the blog so you can check it out more. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on this interview. Thank you, Tim, for your time today. I know you're really busy.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Noreen. It's been great.
And see everyone on Social Biz. Make it a great day.